Man may be unwittingly changing the world's climate through the waste products of his civilization.
The burning of coal, oil, and wood is releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
The greenhouse effect has been detected, and it is changing our climate now.
Guess where the temperature goes? It goes up.
Climate change is already in our backyard.
It's official. 2012 was the hottest year in the United States.
It's 2014.
2015.
Warmest year around the
Warmest year on
It is
record.
his activities which drove mankind out of the garden.
Today I spend most of my time understanding how can we secure a prosperous future for humanity in a situation where we're starting to hit the ceiling of what the planet can cope with. And I have the privilege of chairing something called the Earth League, which is a network of leading Earth system scientists who try and gather really all the knowledge we have on understanding our future on Earth. Mm-hmm. We are on average moving towards 4 degrees warming this century. And we haven't been in a 4-degree warmer world for the past 4 million years. So it's not as if it's a place we know very well.
So give me one sort of picture of what the world may look like if we do not take action.
Well, to begin with the past 12,000 years, temperatures are almost miraculously stable. In fact, average temperatures vary with only plus minus 1 degree Celsius during this entire period.
This perfect planet with this perfect atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And so let us then move upwards in temperature.
Where are we right now?
Well, today we're approaching 1 degree Celsius. Already at just 0.85 degrees, we're seeing faster than predicted impact.
This storm is so big, so vast, 60 million Americans will feel its power.
We're in an historic drought.
The world's coral reefs begin to collapse even before 2 degrees.
And that's predicted to hit 1.5 to 2 degrees. So
already now. So
that's already probably going to happen.
That's already probably going to happen. At 3-4 degrees, we will have heat waves which make many regions in the world not livable any longer. Agriculture will be collapsing around the equator. That would take us beyond being able to responsibly feed humanity. What makes scientists so nervous is that we can reach a point where Earth takes over and start reinforcing warming. This is what we call tipping points, and the most obvious one is Greenland. Greenland, for the first time, is melting on its entire surface to a point where instead of being a white surface becomes a dark surface, and suddenly instead of being a cooler becomes a self-heater.
Because of the fact that the ice can no longer reflect back.
Just the color change.
Just the color change of the ice.
Yeah. Suddenly all these feedbacks start kicking in. Methane stuck under frozen permafrost thaws to a point where it starts getting released.
And that in turn warms the planet even more, which releases more methane.
Correct.
That's if we don't take immediate action.
Yes, that's business as usual. But the Paris Climate Summit that we are soon approaching in December, if world leaders come together properly, the window is open, but barely open, to transition back into in Sweden. There was an enormous uprising among people, from youth groups to civil society organizations, to the point that the Prime Minister announced 3 weeks back that Sweden will now become the world's first fossil fuel-free nation. I was shocked at the way that propelled itself from below. I think we have tipped the world towards a sustainable future. The fear is, are we doing it too slowly?
瑞典籍的 Agneta Rising 女士现任世界核能协会秘书长，她具有辐射防护背景，又是3个孩子的母亲，非常关心在核能相关专业领域，像是核能电厂、辐射防护以及核能医学工作的妇女，因此参与创办全球核能妇女会，并担任第2任会长。她还曾经在瑞典政府、欧盟委员会以及国际原子能总署担任重要的职务，了解各种不同的能源发展，并且重视核能的安全。这次她应邀来台担任核能与能源安全论坛的主讲人，除了从全球能源供需的观点来看核能未来的发展以外，他还要和我们分享各国推动核能的成功因素，以及1980年代瑞典的废核公投经验。请问推动核电的成功要素有哪些？
I think you should continue on the route you have been going for a long time. My first time in Taiwan was 15 years ago. And so I've seen a lot of your nuclear program. You are very experienced, you are very skilled, you have a very high educational level, and I think you should continue to work with nuclear in a responsible way as you've been doing.
请问瑞典1980年的废核公投对瑞典有什么重大的影响？
There were several impacts. One of the good things was that we were discussing the possible alternatives to nuclear, and after quite many years, people understood there are really no alternatives to nuclear, and people became very pro-nuclear. So the good thing was the discussion. The bad thing was that there was less money put into research and research programs, and less people going into these areas for education. And people were very interested to work with nuclear. A lot of young people wanted to work with nuclear, but there was no research money in the university. So we had to put special programs in place to keep the high level. Since the referendum, when it was really negative about nuclear, slowly it turned positive. One of the big reasons to be positive about nuclear was that we need to be careful with the environment and health. And people understood that nuclear is a very good energy source because it doesn't emit any carbon dioxide. So it's one of the cleanest energy sources. And people started to understand. They also started to understand that the renewables have sort of a big promise, but they cannot deliver. And people started to understand this. And then the government changed the legislation that it was again allowed to think about and even make projects for new nuclear. So this new change came after quite many years of discussion, and now it's possible in Sweden again to build new reactors to replace the old reactors when they are becoming too old to operate.
有些台湾民众因为福岛核灾而心生恐惧，您会给他们什么样的建议？
One, of course, is that the situation, I believe, in Taiwan is a little bit different than the one in Japan. How you have structured the nuclear industry and your regulatory body. And also I know you have gone through a lot of tests with the reactors, and so you can ensure a good safety level. What I would like to add as well is that the radiation doses in Fukushima and for the people were quite low. And there is quite some misunderstandings and lots of feelings and overreaction to the radiation doses. So if we look to the Fukushima accident, I mean, it did not kill anyone, it did not harm anyone, and we won't see any impact on health. But the reaction is much stronger, and the reaction is given more health impact than the radiation dose. So I think it's important to listen to the science, to listen to what's really are the facts, and not listen too much to overreactions in the media or because of fears. I think it's a very important question because that is the responsibility that I feel I have as a mother, but also because of my background, my education, my experience, and also over the last 10 years I've been head of environment at a big utility similar to Thai Power but Vattenfall. And then I have been looking into many energy sources. Each energy source has good sides and bad sides, and nuclear is one of the best ones. One of the best environmental quality and for health. And that is my real strong basis on my working experience for more than 30 years, that nuclear is one of the best energy sources. It's clean, it's reliable, and it is affordable. So it's very important for countries like Taiwan, like other regions around the world.
台电公司张志荣、沈云君台北报道。